You're going to see something that we wouldn't normally see sitting here in an apartment in Orlando. In a second or two, I'm going to get a FaceTime from Rose from none other than Metropolis, the hometown of Superman. No kidding. Right on the Illinois-Tennessee border. Now, in case anyone out there doesn't know, FaceTime is an iPhone app that allows people to place video telephone calls with anyone else anywhere in the country, or the world for that matter, who has another iPhone. So what we're about to see isn't just video. It will actually be coming to us live from Metropolis. Okay.
Are you doing video on video right now?
Yeah. There it is. Look at that. It's Superman.
What is that?
Look at that.
Oh, right next to him.
And it's actually real. Oh.
The sign under the statue says, "Truth, Justice, the American Way."
Yeah. Superman. This is the museum over here that I'm looking at now. Yep. Sure enough. Wow. Oh wow. Look at the machine. Look at that. What's that? A Pepsi machine? What's that on the side? Oh wow. I guess they must be serving super sodas, huh? No, Brian, who is that? It can't be Superman. I mean, Superman doesn't wear glasses, does he? No, who is that? Oh. Oh, look. It's Super Brian.
Hold on.
Super Brian. Da 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 da. Oh, that's funny. Too funny. There's his phone booth too. Oh wow. Okay, you got to get a picture posing in front of the statue.
Oh, does it close? Nope. It won't let me change. Alright, back to the statue. Mouse. Now that the peoples are gone.
Cool, there he is. The Man of Steel. Yeah, Rose, get Brian to hold the camera. Go up and take a picture with him.
Selfie.
Oh, you go, yay, selfie with Superman. That's awesome. That's true. I can't believe you guys are actually in Metropolis, the total home of Superman.
Oh, they've got an actual place to take pictures.
Ah, cool.
Poor connection.
It's okay. Super selfie.
Lady, can you see us?
Yes, definitely. The Super Museum, yay! Super Museum. This is the brainchild of a man named Jim Hambricks. Oh, that's right. This is the place to be for Superman fans. Hambrick has been collecting the Man of Steel since about 1959. On display in here is everything from the first Superman comic book to Christopher Reeve's wig, George Reeves' glasses, and the wool, itchy, brown, and gray costume worn by George Reeves when The Adventures of Superman was being filmed in black and white.
Super Nears.
Yep.
Super Museum. The largest selection of currently licensed Superman gift items in Super Nears.
It's super, man.
It's vertically.
Alright, while Rose shows me the Super Museum, I'm going to pull something out of the vault of the museum for you. You know, just to be able to do something like FaceTime takes some pretty mad science. And the mad scientist just happened to be the name of the first of those wonderful, full-color, full animation cartoons made by the Fletcher brothers all the way back in 1941. All in all, there were 17 fully animated Superman cartoons made back in the 40s, but only the first 9 were actually made by Fletcher Studios. Now, a couple months ago we saw one of those Fletcher Studios Superman cartoons called The Volcano. But the one we're going to see now is called The Mad Scientist. Its original title was just simply Superman. It's the very first of the series made by the Fletcher brothers. And it was actually nominated for an Academy Award for Best Short Feature all the way back in 1941. So here, without further ado, while Rose and I look at the Super Museum, is Superman and the Mad Scientist.
This looks like a job for Superman.
In the endless reaches of the universe, there once existed a planet known as Krypton, a planet that burned like a green star in the distant heavens. There, civilization was far advanced and had brought forth a race of supermen whose mental and physical powers were developed to the absolute peak of human perfection. But there came a day when giant quakes threatened to destroy Krypton forever. One of the planet's leading scientists, sensing the approach of doom, placed his infant son in a small rocket ship and sent it hurtling in the direction of the Earth just as Krypton exploded. The rocket ship sped through star-studded space, landing safely on Earth with its precious burden, Krypton's sole survivor. A passing motorist found the uninjured child and took it to an orphanage. As the years went by and the child grew to maturity, he found himself possessed of amazing physical powers. Faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. The infant of Krypton is now the man of steel, Superman. To best be in a position to use his amazing powers in a never-ending battle for true justice, Superman has assumed the disguise of Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper.
Kent, I want to see you. Just received another threatening note.
Okay, Mr. White.
Lois, another note from the mad scientist.
Coming in, Chief.
Now listen to this warning. He plans to strike tonight. Beware, you fools. My electrothanasia ray strikes tonight at 12. Total destruction will come to those who laughed at me and failed to heed my warnings. Beware, I strike at midnight. This nut may prove dangerous. Kent, you help Lois follow up her lead. She may have an angle on this thing.
Yes, sir.
But, Chief, I'd like the chance to crack the story on my own.
Well, no.
Thanks, Chief.
But, Lois. Chief, don't you think that's a dangerous mission?
I'm a reporter for the...
So, you want a story? I'll give you the greatest story of destruction the world has ever known. How is that for a story, Miss Lane?
True to his threat, the mad scientist, whose warnings have held the city in a grip of terror, went on his rampage of destruction on the stroke of midnight. The deadly impact of his mysterious ray smashed the famous Tower Bridge, hurling cars and pedestrians into the river below. The police have warned everyone to remain in their homes.
This looks like a job for Superman.
don't believe it. He isn't human.
Congratulations, Lois. That was a great scoop.
Yes, Chief. Thanks to Superman.
So, what'd you think of The Mad Scientist? Something else, huh? I mean, those old classic, hand-drawn, animated cartoons like that are kind of hard to beat, even by today's standards. You'll notice, though, too, something very curious about those older cartoons. You notice in The Mad Scientist, they tried for a lot of realism with Clark Kent and with all the human characters, but they also threw a very, very cartoony character into this one, and that's the Mad Scientist's Raven. He's very, very typical of cartoons of this particular time. You know, with personality and just kind of bopping around to the music. In fact, most cartoons were like that. But it was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs that changed everything. When Disney came out with that beautifully luscious hand-drawn cartoon that was multi-dimensional and featured characters that were actually human-looking, that changed the perspective from everybody. And you could really tell it in the Fletcher Brothers cartoons, starting with their featured Gulliver's Travels and then down to the Superman series. Notice how they skipped over at the beginning of this Superman's origin, too. It's like he was raised in an orphanage. There was no Jonathan Kent and Martha Kent or any of the rest of it that you see in all of the films and all the other origin stories. He was raised in an orphanage in the cartoon series. Oh, that's really funny. Anyway, there were, like I said, the Fletcher Studios got a contract to make the Superman series, and these were made, of course, for theatrical release, since in 1941 there was no such thing as television. They made the first 9 of them, and then Fletcher Studios became Famous Studios, but it's the first 9 that are really the treasures, even though they're in the public domain, that are really, really treasures. We've seen 2 of them now. If you're interested in the other one, we ran The Volcano on episode 19 of The Last Wanderer of Mars, in an episode called Max and Dave, or The Reason Superman Can Fly. You'll get the entire lowdown on all of Fletcher Studios and how it worked and how Superman was. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed a visit via FaceTime with Rose and Brian live from Metropolis, Illinois. By the way, that actually is the hometown of Superman. You scoff. No, the Illinois House of Representatives actually proclaimed it to be the hometown of Superman in 1972. I guess they never heard of Smallville before. It was actually years later that they erected that 12-foot-tall bronze statue of the Man of Steel. Interesting, huh? It was nice to get a look at it. At any rate, We'll have more Superman cartoons in upcoming episodes of The Last Wanderer of Mars. So, hope you had a good time. If you did, make sure and like us on all the social media, and please subscribe. I'm Davey, The Last Wanderer of Mars, and I'll see you next time. And remember, for more wanderings, don't forget to subscribe. Smoking rockets, Commander? You mean they haven't subscribed already?